What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fig Heel YouTube channel, and today we're going to be unboxing Powertown Verne Gagne. Stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm excited about this one. We're going to be unboxing one at a time the entire Powertown Series 1. As you can see, I have two sets, one to open, one to keep mint on card. These figures are premium collectibles, as it says on the box. And honestly, I think there's some really cool stuff that we're going to talk about, delve into. But first on the agenda is none other than Verne Gagne. As you'll notice on the packaging, it is book style, and it has two magnets inside of the opening cover. Super thin magnets. They gotta be. I can't even feel them really when I'm touching, so they gotta be super thin. There's one at the bottom, one at the top. Very cool. So much better than Velcro, so much easier to open, and it keeps it flatter to the box, which as a mint on card collector, you know the annoyance of that when it's Velcro and it's like hanging out a little bit. But I love that it features the belt, what belt he comes with. However, my biggest qualm with the packaging is that it features the actual figure that's inside of it so many times. And that was one of the things that I actually said to Powertown before they were coming out, but they were too far along in the process. I did suggest series number and figure number on there, but let's see. So we got picture of the figure, 5 pictures, 6, 7 pictures of the figure and the actual figure on the box. It's a lot, right? I think it would have been better if it had an actual picture of Verne Gagne here. And as I was looking at each figure, they have some really great pictures in here on the opening cover of the cover here, of the book cover. Like, that's a little bit older Verne, but I think this would have been great on the cover. Would have been really nice right there. Maybe it's, you know, an older picture, so it's harder to find. But it gives you a little history lesson right here. Some interesting stuff. But I'm not going to read it because I know you guys hate when I read long blurbs on figures. So we're just going to rip into it. We're going to talk about Verne Gagne. It's a 7-inch scale, and as you can see, these are called Ultras Premium Collectibles. The box is super thick, heavy duty, which is nice, especially with independent toy producers. Usually what you get is like super cheap cardboard, right? And this is not that at all. Another thing that's interesting, well, not even interesting, I think is really cool what they did, is it's a double bubble, is what I like to call it. A little double bubble, and it's taped there. On the top and bottom it's taped. Now, this is Verne Gagne's first ever action figure, believe it or not. Greg Gagne got 2 in the original AWA line. So it comes with a towel. It smells great. That's great smelling plastic right there, boys and girls. Comes with a interchangeable hand. And the Police Gazette belt, which we will talk about in a little bit. Now, we all know about the infamous issues with the legs. I'm not going to play too much the legs just because I don't really need to. But just moving it lightly and gently, it looks like they're pretty well fixed. So the hand came off super easy, way easier than Mattel's hands. I will say that. Very interesting. Hard to get the jacket off is one thing I've heard, and I can see that being difficult, but if you take the hands off, it's not too bad. It's actually a pretty soft rubberized jacket. And on the front of it, it has the VG, Verne Gagne, and on the back, Verne in very old style font. And one thing I'll say about this is that it's not just like painted blue. There's like black in there, and this actually looks like leather. Like it has like that very old school worn leather feel, which I think is really, really nicely done. That's like a really beautifully done jacket. And it is, it's soft. I think the fact that it's hard to get on and off is because it's not super oversized. Like if you take a look at these Nasty Boys figures, the jackets were super oversized, right? And what I'm noticing with these is that these fit pretty good. So that's pretty cool. Here's the figure. Black boots, white laces, black trunks. We'll put the hands on in a second. The upper torso doesn't really move at all. So this articulation, this ultra style articulation, it's on mine, at least on this Verne, we'll check on the other ones, it's not moving at all. I don't want to put too much pressure on it, but it's really not moving to the point that I'm not sure it's necessary. Interesting. So the thing that's different about these hands is that the peg is actually in the arm, not in the hand. So the peg goes into the actual hand, which might be why it's easier to remove it. We'll go back to the figure in 1 second. But what he comes with is the Police Gazette Wrestler of the Year belt that he got in 1952. The Police Gazette magazine named him Wrestler of the Year for 1952. And this is a very cool, like, first of all, the strap, pretty loose, which is what you want in a belt. It's very, very like loose and flexible. It's not super thick. Like, look, you can see it's a pretty thin belt, much thinner than I would say Mattel's, which is a good thing. But great detail on the belt. It's like a vac style belt. The shiny gold, silver plated over it, world heavyweight wrestling champion. The red, white, and blue with the eagles on the side plates. Very, very nice. And one thing about this belt that I think is really cool is that this eventually became the design of the final AWA championship title that they used in AWA, which I think is awesome, which shows how important, I guess, this accolade was to Verne Gagne. Very great head sculpt, to be honest with you, because obviously it's not a head scan. He's passed on. This is a great head sculpt, and the paint applications are very, very good. This is a really nicely well done figure. Now, was I ever clamoring for a Verne Gagne figure? Was it a missing hole in my collection? Not exactly, but now that I have it, I'm super happy about it. It's a really good figure. It's history right here. This is wrestling history. The belt, very easy to put on, and it looks perfectly fitted to him. Now this is the fist. Yep, fist was pretty easy to get on. You've got his other hand. He comes with a towel that you can drape over his shoulders, and that fits really well and looks great. I mean, this is just a nicely done figure. So, a lot of people don't like the pins in the elbow joints right here, but they're not as noticeable as like old Mattel. Same thing with the knees. However, I don't like this old style knee articulation, right? This is to me, this is like an outdated style to do knees. And having said that, I am fully aware that I'm the only person saying that nobody seems to care about the knees. I'm the only person that seems to bother. But if there was one thing that I would change about these figures, literally one thing, that would be it, just the knees. And that's honestly just a personal preference. It's not that they did anything wrong or bad. This is how I remember like my figures from the 90s having those knees with like the rounded joint that comes up and then a slit across the knee down, rounded joint up. That's just how I remember them being. Has great ankle articulation that is very much like an Ultimate Edition Mattel figure. You can move the ankle up or over and around, almost like rotating it, which is very cool. Like you can roll the ankle. even the paint on this towel is really great. Like it's got like almost like a shadowing in there. It just looks great. I'm super impressed. Absolutely incredibly impressed by this. It was now I knew that these were going to be great figures. I just did. I knew they were going to be great. However, I did not expect to be so impressed by a Verne Gagne figure. And truth be told, since I'm doing this Powertown week on the channel, my thought process was, you know what I'll start with? I'll start with Verne Gagne and Luthez, because I feel like, you know, you start small, you build big, and if this is starting small, I'm very, very impressed. I really am. Hands off to everybody over at Powertown. You guys did an excellent job. But when I was deciding on that, I noticed that Verne Gagne is number 1, Luthez is number 2, so I said, you know, let's go in order, because it seems like they build up as they go too, which is really great. Now here's the test that I wanted to take a look at, because people were saying that like they don't like the jacket because you can't really move the arms, and you can't, but you can move them better than old Mattels, you know? And not only that, the positioning of the arms in the jacket I think are better than Mattels. Like, you know, Mattels would kind of be out like that, very, what was it, Elite 94 edge. Whereas I feel like Verne right here, his arms are at a more neutral, natural position. So it doesn't bother me. But to be honest with you, it's a great figure to have with the jacket off. It's a great figure to have with the jacket on. So look at that, man. Wow. Let me see if I can get the towel on under there as well. Now, I tried finding a picture of Verne Gagne wearing a similar jacket to this, and honestly, I could not find it, so I'm very curious about that. But, I mean, this looks excellent. It really does. I'm going to position it obviously better on my collection shelf, but look at that, man. I remember when Relativity Worldwide said they were going to be doing figures, everybody automatically went to Remco's, and Remco's would have been great, but this, man, like even look at the detail of the zipper on the jacket. That is impressive. There's so much detail in these, and listen, the price tag on these was higher. It's a premium collectible that is lower produced, right? Absolutely worth it. This is a premium collectible. This is a top-notch. It's not cheap, you know what I mean? This isn't, nothing about this. Even this figure, this is probably one of the smaller figures in the whole set. It's got some weight to it. Man, I can't say anything bad about it. Like, the legs really do move very well. You can tell that they're different. It's like a ball and socket, which it probably comes off pretty easy, but I don't even want to test it. My only complaint is the knees, and again, I'm the only person who seems to care about that. Feels like it's like ratchet joint knees as well, so it's great for posability. Oh. I think playing with the hands too much made them come off a little bit too easy, but very, very cool. I am super impressed by this. Excited for what is to come with the Powertown line. You know what? All it took was Verne Gagne. I am a Powertown completist, and I'm saying it right now. I'm a Powertown completist. I don't know if I'm gonna be a Powertown completist mint on card, or loose, or both, but I am 100% a Powertown completist now. This sold me, and we're talking about Verne Gagne. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We are gonna be diving into Luthez, diving into Magnum TA, Kerry Von Erich, Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody. It's only going to get better as we go. So join us tomorrow where we're going to be unboxing Luthez in the Powertown collection. Comment below. Let me know what you think of this figure. Do you need a Verne Gagne figure? If so, this has got to be the one, right? And that's the thing, man. Like, this is his first figure. And I think this is the definitive Verne Gagne. They made his first figure the definitive Verne Gagne to the point that, like, I don't think you need another one. This jacket is so impressive. The belt, So impressive. And there's history behind it. At first, I was like, yeah, it's kind of silly, you know, he's getting this like magazine belt. But then when I learned of the history of it, I was like, that's actually genius. I love it. I love what they're doing here. It's so much better than including the AWA title. Include the title that became the AWA championship towards the end of its tenure. Very, very cool. Bravo to my friends at Powertown. Absolutely love this figure. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to display these, because these definitely deserve their own shelf. So hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeel. Pick up the Ultimate Wrestling Figure Checklist. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel and make sure you join Whatnot at WhatHeel.com and get $15 off your first purchase. You'll be glad you did. Stay tuned for when more Powertown figures drop. You're not going to want to miss these, because these have a hefty price tag on the secondary market. And we'll see you on the next one tomorrow for Luthez. Peace, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeel. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at WhatHeel.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.